Passing props from one component down to another component is probably up there with the #1 thing that we do almost every single day across every single React codebase. We all do this, it's how we actually get our jobs done. That being said, there are definitely some times where just going from one level down to another level, even 2 levels, doesn't cut it. There are some instances where you need to take your props all the way from up here and get it down all the way to a component down here. This is known as prop drilling. Prop drilling really introduces 2 problems. The first, and I think rather obvious problem, and you've most certainly encountered this yourself if you've ever had to actually do some prop drilling, it's very, very annoying. It's honestly very error prone, it's tedious. You've got to kind of keep track of where the props are coming from, which components are passing through. It's just not fun at all. The other potentially less obvious problem, but I think an even more important problem to talk about, is the fact that this can actually now introduce a performance concern within your application. We're all well aware of the fact that in React, every single time a component's props change, that component will now go through another render cycle. Now that's all fine and dandy. We're okay with a component going through another render cycle if the props that it's actually receiving are going to be displayed on screen, because of course I want the updated data to now be displayed on screen. If something is different, I want the screen to reflect that. But in our instance, we have a whole bunch of components that are receiving props just for the sake of taking those props and then passing it on to the next component down the chain, which means that these components are never actually going to even be displaying this bit of data on screen. Despite this, however, they're still going to be rendering. Those are just a whole bunch of wasteful, excessive renders. So surely there has to be a better way that we can take our props from a component way up over here and get it down to a component way down over here. And as it turns out, there is, and it's called context. So let me show you exactly how we use it. So here's the basic setup for our example. What I've got is a component called app, which is going to be rendering a component called child. To the child component, I'm going to be taking this bit of state called number, passing it down as a prop to the child component. The child component will then take that number prop. It's going to then render a component called grandchild, and then take the very number prop that I just got from app and then pass it onwards to the grandchild component. And then finally, the grandchild component will just take the number prop and then just go ahead and display it on screen. But the most important thing that I want to point out here is the fact that the child component is literally taking this prop number and then just passing it onwards to the grandchild. In other words, the only reason why it's even receiving the prop of number is just for the sake of then passing it onwards to the grandchild, but it otherwise isn't doing anything meaningful with this number prop. So let's get to a point where the child component isn't even aware of the fact that number even exists. And the way to do that, of course, is going to be through using context. Okay, so on screen right now, you can see that I'm importing create context as well as use context from React. And then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be using this imported function create context to go ahead and actually create a new context object. So I'm going to be calling my context number context, and I'm going to be getting it once again, like I just mentioned, by calling the create context function. And then to my create context function, I'm passing just the default value of what number is going to be when it first starts out. Of course, by the time I'm actually rendering it, as you can see here, it's going to be actually number is going to be equal to 1, but I'm just setting the default value. Now down in the app component, this is where the real changes are starting to kind of take shape. So #1, you can see now that I'm wrapping my entire sort of app, which in this case is nothing more than the child component. I'm wrapping it in my provider. The basic idea is that in order for me to actually have access to the data that I'm putting into my context, everything that needs access to that data that lives in context must find itself between the opening and closing of the context provider. So for example, if I was to have a component that was out here on line 33, which would basically be outside of my context provider, that component would not be able to access the data that lives inside of my context provider. Now the next thing that I want to point out is that this bit of state called number right over here is now no longer getting passed as a prop to the child component. Instead, I'm passing it to my provider on the prop called value. So every single context provider has a prop in it called value, and you can use that to pass whatever you want down. So in other words, you can pass functions, you can pass values, you can pass whatever you want to pass, you can pass down via the value prop on the provider, and then anyone that can then access your context provider can access whatever you've passed into this value. So since I want to make the number bit of state accessible to the rest of my application, that's what I'm now passing down via the value. So I'm essentially passing down an object that's going to have a key on it called number, and then the value is going to be equal to the very same number that I've got here on my state. So now let's take a look at how this context provider is going to go ahead and change things for us. So #1, the obvious thing that's now happening is if you take a look at the child component, it's now blissfully ignorant to the fact that the number variable exists. In fact, it's not even receiving it as a prop anymore, and since it's no longer receiving it as a prop, it's not even passing it down to the grandchild component. It's completely unaware of the fact that this number prop exists, which is great. So now the question is, if child is now no longer sending the prop down to grandchild, how is grandchild going to actually get my number? So the answer is that we're going to be using this use context hook. So this is the same use context hook that I've imported right up over here at the top of the file. And then when I call this use context hook, I will then pass in the actual context object that I've created right up over here. And so then in return, I'm going to go ahead and actually be able to pull that number out. So the very same number that I'm passing down as the value prop here, I can then pull it out as a response to the use context hook. And now directly in my component, I can just go ahead and use that variable just how I would like to use it. So now before you get super excited and start using context everywhere, let me just give you one bit of cautionary advice that context can actually still cause a performance concern. Let me show you what I mean. So here's the setup that I've got. I've got a simple component called app, which is now going to be defining 2 bits of state. One is called number, and the other one is called other value. We're also defining a function called change number, which when you call change number, all I'm going to do is I'm going to increment the value of number by 1. Now I'm going to actually use the number context provider, and then to the context provider, I'm going to be passing down all 3 variables, meaning the number bit of state, the other value bit of state, as well as a function called change number. We're then going to go ahead and render the child component. And in this case, the child component is actually going to be rendering 2 components. It's going to be rendering the grandchild component as it did before, but in addition to that, it's also going to be rendering a component called sibling. So the hierarchy that we have now is that the app component will render the child component, and the child component will then go ahead and render 2 components that are going to be siblings, meaning the grandchild and the siblings are going to be at the same level. So now the next very important thing that I want to kind of point out here is the fact that our grandchild component is going to be using the number data that's coming from context, and then on the other hand, the sibling component is only going to be using the other value. So in other words, the really important thing here to note is that sibling is using other value, grandchild is using number, but sibling is not using number. And so now because of this, logic would dictate that if the number variable changes, like for example, in my case, that if I click on the button, I'm going to actually increment the number of the value of number by 1. I'm going to keep incrementing it. Now, like I said, logic would dictate that if that's the case, only grandchild should go through another render cycle because only grandchild is actually listening to the number bit of data. But on the other hand, the sibling component that is not using the number variable shouldn't render again. Now that's actually a good assumption that you might make, but the question is, will this assumption actually hold up? So let's test this. So the way that we're going to test this is we're going to go ahead and click on this button, click me right over here, which will then increment the value of number. But what I've done is I put a console log inside of my sibling component. So if when I click on this button, that console log fires, we'll then see that what's going to actually end up happening is a sibling will in fact render, even though sibling is not utilizing the number variable. So let me show you. Now you can see that as I'm clicking, I'm still getting the I am rendering console log, which is basically proving to us that even though sibling is not subscribing to the number data that lives in our context, despite this, it's still going to go through another render cycle. And I think that this is something that's very important to be aware of. So if you like this video and you want to watch more videos just like this one, I've got an entire playlist full of React goodness that you can watch. And I think that that playlist will be somewhere right over here. So go ahead and watch that and enjoy.